Monday. This is the Opinionated Woman and welcome to another reading vlog. I haven't got my mic set up yet because that will require a lot more know-how on my part to actually get it working. I have changed my camera settings, however, so that's good because apparently I was not filming on the optimum settings for HD viewing, so now this should look a lot nicer. So last week I ended off on Friday starting off Vittorio the Vampire by Anne Rice. It's like the thing that I've heard about Anne Rice is one interview with the vampire, and the fact that little Kirsten Dunst had to kiss fully grown man Brad Pitt, and that she's quite sexual. And I mean, that doesn't bother me, but it's very odd to me when it's used in the wrong setting. Like I'm a very open person. Like sex stuff doesn't bother me, nudity doesn't bother me, none of that stuff. But when it's not consensual 100%, and the person involved is 16 years old, like, if you're writing fiction, why would you do that? Like, just add a couple of years onto his age and make it not icky, you know? Like, so she writes really well, and I'm already halfway through, and he hasn't actually become a vampire yet. So I kind of thought that it would be about Vittorio the vampire, but this seems to be Vittorio becoming a vampire. But yeah, she writes well. It's set around the time that the Renaissance, like when the Medicis were controlling Italy, yeah, in almost every facet. So yeah, we'll see about that one. I've got about 2 or 3 hours left of Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi. I'm still not 100% sure how to talk about, I'll talk about that in a second, how to talk about Freshwater, because it's like, I feel like every reader who comes into this book might take it in a different way, or take something away from it in a different way. It's really hard to describe. Like, I don't know, like, I've read a few, I've watched a few reviews about Freshwater. Like, that's what made me put it on my TBR, but I don't remember how anybody described it. I don't want to steal their way of explaining it, so I don't want to go listen to theirs now, but I remember not being quite sure what it was about when they told me. So I think it's one of those you just have to go into, because we are following Ada's life, but we're not hearing it from Ada's point of view. We're hearing it from the Obanje living within her, but I don't feel like I can explain what Obanje are, because I'm not Nigerian. It's not part of my culture, and I think I would butcher it. I did see there's an article that I started reading before I started reading Freshwater that I'm gonna finish reading again that is on this topic, because I'm really intrigued by it, and I love seeing that kind of thing, like gender and religion and different ways of looking at gods, like from completely different perspectives that I'm not used to. So yeah, it's gorgeous. It's so good. It's so good. So please, like, do yourself a favor, try Freshwater or anything by Akwaeke Emezi. I still want to read Pet, and I want to read The Death of Vivek Oji. A little bit on that point though is Akwaeke Emezi is non-binary, and I saw someone's video where they were like, oh, they've asked not to be considered for the women's prize, but they weren't sure what was happening in that. And why would they be considered for the women's prize? They're not a woman. So by putting their books into up for the women's prize, doesn't that completely negate or invalidate their gender and their gender expression by just being like, oh, well, we're just going to put you in the woman category, you know? Maybe our prizes should not be so binary, but I know prizes don't really matter. I just thought it was strange that they couldn't understand why they weren't being put up for a woman's award, because they're not a woman. But yeah, the reason I actually started this clip, besides giving you the update on what I've been reading, is I'm having some I was having a lot of anxiety over the weekend, not feeling so great, and I have done a blog post about my facial twitch. I'll link it if you want to see where it came from. It's basically, it was a side effect of a medication I went on that obviously didn't work for me, and now it comes around when I'm anxious, and I was like, no, I'm not going to vlog because I'm twitching, but no, fuck that. This is something that I suffer with. This is something that is not shameful. This is something that's part of me. It happens. And I think I started watching this woman called the Trippy Hippie. I'll link her as well. And she's got Tourette's. And I don't have Tourette's, but we do share some tics that mine are anxiety induced, and obviously hers are Tourette's induced. And she is so, like, she just puts it out there. She's just like, this is how it is, you know? And she doesn't apologize for it, and like, she does laugh about it when it's something funny, you know. She says you're allowed to laugh. If I'm laughing, you're allowed to laugh. You know, she randomly just like calls you a bitch or something. But she made me feel brave enough to vlog when I'm like this. So sometimes this is gonna happen, and I'm not faking it. I'm not putting it on. Sometimes I can control it, sometimes not so much. I have taken something that is supposed to help calm it down a little bit, but if I vlog and this happens, you know what? Deal with it. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. And I convince myself. Don't edit this out, Amy. I'm looking at you, bitch. Don't edit this out. Okay. I probably won't update you for the rest of the day. My mom's friend, my previous employer, my first ever employer, is staying with us tonight. Hi, Leander. Thank you for coming and buying us KFC. So we're all going out for dinner tonight, so I won't be doing much reading or anything like that. I might read a little bit this evening, but I'm sleeping on the couch. And then tomorrow is my first EMDR therapy session, so we'll see about that, but I will update when and if I can, and try to stop twitching maybe. Don't lick my tripod. Good morning, leader. Come here. You guys are being rowdy. Rowdy. Sit. Sit. No. Good morning. It is Wednesday. I come to you. Neither bright-eyed nor bushy-tailed. I mean, check them bags. I mean, there's a little bit of mascara there, but yeah, my dreams are really bad right now. The medication that I take that is supposed to help me sleep through the night is not working. Again. Fun. Anyway. The last couple of days have been a bit of a shit show. Like, schedule-wise, just so unnecessarily messed up. But I have, yeah, I got to see Sir Leander and everything like that. Like I said in the only clip that I've done, I didn't film yesterday. Yesterday was not a day for filming. I did work and watch vlogs though, and I got a little bit of the way into, I got like 80 pages left of Vittorio the Vampire. I do enjoy her writing, but she really does put sexual stuff in very strange places. Like she just literally, this vampire leans through the window and just like randomly gets her tits out while she's warning this guy that he must get away and run so that he doesn't get turned into a vampire. Sure, I hopefully should get some time to read more of Freshwater, because I'm taking my brother's girlfriend to get her tattoo done at Akwaeke Tattoos. Go to Akwaeke Tattoos. It's amazing. They're responsible for most of the work on me. Yeah, besides that, I just look like a crypt keeper. So hopefully I will be able to update you later and my brain will feel okay with that and I won't look like the crypt keeper. So my cat is waiting for dog biscuits. He's very weird. I think I have 2 dogs. Just one's really small and ginger. Okily dokily. I have just dropped off my friend at my brother's tattoo shop. She's getting tattooed by him today. She's getting a little sloth. It's going to be real cute. If she's happy to show you later, I will show you. It just depends on, I don't want to put people on camera if they don't want to be on camera. Yeah, so I'm just leaving the shop now, going home, and I'm going to listen to Freshwater. I really want to get this book done because it's not very long and it's really good, but the last, God, I don't know how many days have been so chaotic. So I'm going to have a good, peaceful listen and then maybe even finish Vittorio the Vampire today because I've only got a tiny amount of pages left. So that would be sick. Alrighty, home time. I'm not driving and vlogging. I am at a robot, traffic light. These glasses look sick. But I just saw a homeless man who was walking down the middle of the road with like this cart, and a lot of the times here you'll see people with carts that will collect recyclable materials and they'll take them to recycling banks and then they'll get paid by weight. But I had a glance inside and he's got 2 dogs in there and he's rolling them around in this little tent. It's so wholesome and heartwarming. Okay, I am driving now, so I'm going to stop. Good morning, it's Thursday and I didn't update you yesterday because I actually got a good decent amount of work done. Got a quick little job and finished it, which was sick, but good news. I have finished a book in a reading vlog. Oh my god. Yeah, I finally finished Vittorio the Vampire. I enjoyed it, but I feel like, I mean, I only bought this because it was at a sale. So I feel like her writing is good. There were a lot more angels in this than vampires, which is interesting. It's like, and also he was only a vampire, I was going to say spoilers, but this book came out in 1999, if you haven't read it, but he was only a vampire for the last like couple of chapters. Actually, that's not a spoiler, it's actually written like in the blurb, but I don't read the blurb right before I'm going to read a book because I like to be surprised. But yeah, it was just like, it was a lot more religion based than I expected. So it was like vampire boobs and Bible verse, which was bizarre. And he's also very much like in love with this vampire that he initially goes after to murder, but then all of a sudden like sees her tits and he's in love. It's a touch weird, but if there is an Anne Rice that you particularly enjoy that you recommend, pop it down in the comments and maybe I'll give her a go. You can get so many Anne Rice books at secondhand bookstores, so yeah, that one's finished. So now I have one more book left on my old books list, meaning the books that I moved to Cape Town with 6 years ago. So I've got one left, and then that pile of shame is done. And it's a classic and it's a big one, so I'm going to move on to Please Look After Mother by Kyung Sook-Shin, translated by Kyung from Korean. I'm super excited for this. I've never read Korean translated fiction before. I'm trying to think. I think I don't know if I've read another Asian translated fiction before. I've definitely never read a Korean one, so I'm super excited. Just because Matthew Sharappa speaks about this author a lot. In my borrowed book haul, he commented on it. I positively fell off my chair. So that was quite a nice moment. He's super cool. I really like him. Just about every book he reviews I put onto my TBR, so this bodes well for this one. Again, I'm not going to read the blurb, so as soon as I know what's cracking, I'll let you know. And then I've got sorry, 2 hours-ish, hour and a half left of Freshwater. That book, I'm still not sure how to describe it, but I'm just gonna say from my point of view, I don't know if this would be considered spoilery. I don't think so, because it's not really a very plot-based. I suppose it is. You see, this book is so hard to talk about, but it's stunning. It's just so beautiful. And to me, from my perspective, and this is completely my interpretation of the book, is that she's having conflicts with embodiments of her own trauma within herself. So we're not seeing, I think, like I said before, we're not seeing the story through Ada's eyes. We're seeing it through the embodiment of her trauma, or the trauma that was awakened. Like, it was born within her. She was born with these Abanje in her, but they became awakened when she went through a trauma, and now she sort of like battles over them. So sometimes the narrator will take over her body, and sometimes she'll have control over it. So it's like this really interesting balance. Like, yeah, I can see why people really struggle to talk about this book, but I cannot recommend it enough. I cannot, like, oh, my ears are enthralled. I almost don't want to finish it, because then it'll be done. But that means I can read the rest of Akwaeke and Emezi's books. So that's a huge plus. Okay, I'm gonna go exercise. I finished the Yoga with Adrian 30-day yoga journey thing. I never do it in the full 30 days because that's not really how life works, and I like to give myself one day off a week of exercise. So I finished that, and now, yeah, I'll see what I feel like. I don't know if this is super strange or completely normal, but I am a single lesbian woman who has never considered having children. I mean, if I have a partner one day who wants children, I'm totally open to it. I'm not the type of person who has always been like, no marriage, no kids. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen in my life. I mean, when I was a teenager, I thought I was going to marry my high school boyfriend. Well, that didn't happen. Thank fuck. But I am absolutely obsessed with watching lesbians getting pregnant on YouTube. Like, I mean, seriously, like,
they have vegetarian capsules.
Ellie and Sam.
I appreciate it.
That's Ellie, she's getting pregnant right now. No, that's Sam. That's Sam, sorry, she's getting pregnant. Jessica Calgren Frozard and her wife are getting pregnant. Abby and Julia just had a baby. I've just started watching Lauren and Bree. I'll put all of their links and pictures because they're so cute. Look, cute lesbians. But I just cannot stop watching the videos about their fertility journeys. It's so bizarre, but I suppose at least if one day I do have children, I have a lot of info about it. I just thought I should include that because I spend more time than I'd like to admit watching these. Maybe it's just because they're like cute, stable lesbian relationships that I would like for myself. from the stellar lighting, you can tell it's the evening time, but I have just started this. All we know so far is that her mother is missing. What is her name? Okay, I'm going to look up how to... Oh no, that's her mom's name. I'm going to look up how to say these names so I don't be that basic white bitch and butcher them. But it is written in the third person, which is interesting. I've not read a book written in the third person in a long time. So it'll be nice to change it up, challenge my brain a little bit. So I'm excited. And look, this cover is so pretty. I'm a doofus. This is written in the third person. They haven't said the name yet. But her mom's name is Sonia. I don't know if we'll get to know the narrator's name later, but until then I will just refer to them as the narrator. Good morning, it's Friday. I haven't... Oh, sorry, I have not updated you. Oh no, I updated you last night, never mind. I've just been carrying on reading Please Look After Mother. It's beautiful. It's going between the present timeline where her mother has gone missing and exploring the past where her, different experiences with her mother and the tensions between family because of her leaving home and her realizing her mother was illiterate. So like going through all these realizations about her mother as a person, as opposed to just her mother as a mother. I actually had this conversation recently with somebody, and they were talking about how when they stripped back their identity as a mother and their identity as a wife, and how when they were stripped of those things, they didn't know where their identity was. And I think that happens with a lot of mothers, probably, especially a lot of mothers where the father isn't as involved in the upbringing of the children, and how it takes away from all of your life. It takes away from your sense of your own culture. It takes away from your sense of self, your sense of self-confidence. So it's very poignant and beautiful, and I really want to know what the hell happened to her mother. But what I actually came to say in this clip was, sorry, my head is a little bit, I'm about to do yoga. Because I'm doing yoga, because I watch yoga videos, obviously the YouTube algorithm is like, oh, they're doing exercise, so I'm going to give them Noom adverts, and Noom is like a dieting thing. And then every now and again, I don't know why I get these, I think they're just general, because I've never gambled in my life, but I get gambling ads. And to me, either those ads shouldn't be allowed on places, these shouldn't be allowed, gambling ones, I hate diet culture. I think it's so toxic, and most of the time very unhealthy, but I feel like these ads need trigger warnings, because if you go onto a video where someone's going to be discussing weight and diet and all of that kind of thing, you'd say trigger warnings for, relationships with food, because if you have an eating disorder or a gambling addiction and you see those ads, that's triggering as fuck. I'm putting it on my laptop, that's what I really don't think they should be allowed I don't think they should be allowed to advertise gambling at all. But if they do advertise shit like this, like they literally, I wish that they legally had to say trigger warning. Because when I was in the psych hospital, I had a guy in my group who was in for gambling, and I can imagine that seeing that kind of thing would have been incredibly hard for him. It just disappoints me when I see things like that happening. Just chilling online, like these harmful little things that can just be like done and you're triggered. And being triggered can, even if it doesn't cause an actual relapse in something, it could destroy, I was triggered by something. It was when I skipped a week of vlogging because I got triggered by something that I saw on Instagram, and I was donezo for like a week. And I think and that's not even something that I could relapse in. It was just a trigger for my PTSD. So I just think it's really disgusting that those ads are allowed to run without any form of warning. But anyway, those are my 2 cents. What do you think? Do you think they should be allowed to do this? Do you think they're harmful too? Let me know. I'm going to do yoga now. I don't know how much I'm going to update today. I might only update tomorrow. It is my brother's girlfriend's birthday. Her birthday, Jessica. So we're going to be, celebrating, eating donuts, opening presents, stuff like that. So I probably won't update much today, but maybe tomorrow, and then I'll probably round out the vlog tomorrow. Hopefully I can round out the vlog with finishing Freshwater, but we'll see. Hey, look at me updating when I said I might not update. Am I in focus? I'm in focus. First of all, look how cute these earrings are. My brother's girlfriend gave them to me. I think I might become a statement earring lesbian. Definitely. Secondly, and most importantly, I just wanted to put a trigger warning for Freshwater for suicide and suicide ideation. I think those are very important things to know before going into a book, if that is something that will trigger you. Yeah, that's all. Also, and then in a completely shallow ending to this clip, yesterday I watched a video by Jackson Bird, and Jackson Bird, definitely go follow him. He's incredible, and his book was the first book I read this year. It's called Sorted. It's absolutely amazing, and the audiobook is great because he reads it himself. So on his video, I left a comment saying, that I find his content very important. He's a trans man that has documented his experiences, and I think he does a lot of good for his community and for younger people that are looking to him for or looking for some kind of help in that area. And he's also very important for cis people like me to help educate themselves without harassing trans people in my life to give me these answers, because it's up to me, it's up to us as cis people to educate ourselves. It's not up to the trans people in our lives to educate us on their experiences, unless they want to, unless they want to have a discussion about it. And he hearted my comment. I know that's so stupid to get excited about, but I'm just glad he saw it, because it was important to me. So please check out his YouTube channel, check out Sorted. It is chef's kiss, so good. And also for anybody that is trying to learn more about the trans experience that is new to it, he also includes a glossary of terms, so that if you do get a little bit lost, you can check back. I definitely wouldn't have been able to understand that book as well even a year ago, because I hadn't educated myself on these things yet. And I am still obviously educating myself. I will never completely understand what it is to be trans, because I am cis. So yeah, if you are a little bit overwhelmed by it, but you want to educate yourself, Jackson is a very good person to follow, among very many others, but this just so happens to be the person that I was talking about today. So yeah, I'm gonna go fling these earrings around the shopping center. I love it. Okay, bye. Good morning, reading vlog pals. I finished Freshwater. I swear, part of my weekend needs to be me putting something here, because it's so blank and boring, and I like when there's cool stuff in the background, but this is where the light is best. But I'll sort it out. Anyway, I finished Freshwater. I listened to the last chapter twice. It's just like I think you saw in the previous clip when I was saying I was having feelings. That was just after I finished reading it. This book it's got so many layers. It's got so much about it. There's so much metaphor. It just like I don't know if anybody would be able to read this and not take something personal from it. I don't know if that's coming from a neurodivergent person, but like I don't know, I got something like see, it's impossible to talk about this without like completely butchering its essence. So please do yourself a favor, read Freshwater by Akwaeke and Emezi. They are an artist. They are like one of the best new authors I've come across, and between Freshwater and In the Dream House, it is only February and those two are already contenders to be like my number one of the year. So like wow. Good reading here so far. I was going to end up the vlog here, but I'm going to take my little pooch to the sea. So I'm going to give you a little clip that is not inside my house, and then I'll end it off. I'm now reading 3 Things About Elsie by Joanna. I've never read anything by Joanna. I've had this on my TBR forever, and I'm super limited on script because I went and read a bunch of brand new books. So finally it's forced me to get to it, and I'm excited about it. I think everybody that I've heard so many people talk about it. It's basically just following, not Elsie. Elsie's her friend. Fuck, what's her name? I've forgotten the main character's name. Why does this happen? I'm usually really good with names. Anyway, she lives in an old age home. Someone new has just moved in across the way from her, and she thinks she recognizes him. That's as far as I've got. So I'll probably talk about it more in next week's vlog. I told you guys I would show you Karina's new tattoo. Look how cute! Little Slothy, look at his little eyes. Oh, it's not focusing. Ah, so cute. And Gareth also did that one. So go to him. Okay? Cool, thanks. You go. Are you having fun on the beach, honey? So happy. Okay, I forgot to film an outro on the beach because it was too windy and too full of people. I've washed the dog. Whew, I've been an adult today. Filed my tax returns. Excellent. Anyway, I'm coming to sign this off. So, be kind to yourself. Be kind to other people. Wear a mask. I'll see you next time.